Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to a new video. So today we're talking about the cannabis market in the US and in Canada and worldwide. So what is really happening right now is that a lot of people think that the cannabis market is really overvalued and the stocks are really being hyped up and a lot of people are investing in them, and this is leading to the prices going way up, even though most of the companies doesn't really have the sales to support their valuation on the stock side. But what we really have to think about, and all of us have to think about, is most of the investors right now are really investing and believing in these companies for the future. So I had a comment in one of my last videos where I talked about cannabis stocks. This person asked me if I thought if the cannabis stocks are overvalued or what my thoughts are on this matter. But my response was, just as I told you, that it's really hard to put a price on the cannabis stocks since the market haven't even been introduced yet. So far we have only seen medical cannabis being legalized in Canada, and in the US we have some legal states and some states that only sell medical legal cannabis. And this really doesn't prove any kind of concept that the cannabis market is going to be successful when it finally is legalized in Canada. But what the concept really is proving is that there really is a high demand for cannabis related products. Even though the product has been illegal for many years around the world and in many countries, we have seen that cannabis consumption is actually quite high in a lot of countries where cannabis is actually illegal. I took a look at a statistic for worldwide cannabis consumption, and most of the countries where cannabis are illegal, we have a high cannabis consumption. And this is really showing that people are changing their mind about cannabis and people are ready to be introduced to the cannabis market. And this also proves that cannabis will actually be a part of our culture in the future, and it will be part of the mainstream culture. Truth be told, there aren't as many industries in North America growing as quickly or consistently as legal cannabis. ArcView, one of the leading authorities in cannabis industry analysis, has estimated that legal weed sales in North America could grow by 26% per year through 2021. If this prediction comes true, the North American pot industry would be worth close to 22 billion by 2021, up from 6.9 billion in 2016. So what we're really looking at is that the cannabis market as a whole in North America is really growing rapidly, and the user basis is growing as well. I don't really think that the users are increasing, but what's really happening is that people that are used to buying illegal drugs are now seeing that the doors are opening into the legal market. The real number of users are really showing up on the market, and these numbers have been hidden before because these people have been anonymous. They have been buying their drugs from their local dealer or something like that. And these people are now coming to the market, and this is going to be taxed, and we are going to see that sales are going to be improving a lot in the cannabis related stocks. And if you compare the market cap for cannabis to alcohol, you can see in North America the alcohol market is worth around $210 billion. The cannabis market is still a far way behind from the alcohol market, but it's still coming up rapidly compared to alcohol consumption, because the alcohol consumption and the alcohol market isn't really growing as much anymore. Most people are really slowing down their alcohol usage, and this is really going to hurt the alcohol companies, and most of the people consuming alcohol today is actually going to move on and actually start using cannabis, and this is something that I truly believe will happen for most people. You can also see that, as I said before, that marijuana is really coming into the mainstream. It's not really something that people are nervous talking about. You're not really ashamed talking about it. So it's really being a subject that is allowed to be talked about in today's society, which is something great and which is something that will lead to sales being higher, and a lot of other countries will start a discussion if they should start legalizing marijuana. And if a lot of other countries do this as well, the cannabis market will have a huge advantage, since these companies already time to build the infrastructure and everything needed, so they can just start exporting their products to other markets that gets legalized around the world. For example, Aura Cannabis and Canopy Growth Corp want to partner up with countries in the EU. But if you're still really confused if you want to invest in cannabis stocks, go ahead and do your own research. I'm still a true believer in the cannabis market, and I'm gonna continue investing until closer to the summer, and then I will evaluate if it's worth staying in the stocks or if I will sell my investments and maybe come back into the market at a later point. But this is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Comment if you have any other opinions about the cannabis market in the US or Canada. And I will see you guys in the next video.